Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Happy Sunday night. Wow, that weather turned quickly, didn't it? Pretty sudden when I loaded in here, the sun was shining, and now it looks very dull and grey, which for a VFR flight could prove interesting. Oh, I hope we're all well. Hope we've all had a great weekend, and yeah, welcome to your regular, semi-regular Sunday night iconic journey stream, where basically we use Google Maps to follow a set route. Tonight we're continuing our journey. I think this is the 7th episode of us flying down I-95. We are, of course, in Washington D.C. at the moment, where we ended our last stream, and well, we'll just be picking up the I-95 again, and we'll be heading down as far as we can in the next hour or so. So plenty of time for you guys to come in and join us if you wish. We are on the North Europe server for those of you that wish to join us, and we're also on live weather as well. Live weather, live time. That weather does look like it may get changed. Looks like a lovely rainstorm coming in, doesn't it, at the moment? So good evening, Dark, Pilot Pat, Zero Car, hello to you as well, and Mark, Dr. Magic. Good to see you all. Good to see you all here. Now, for those of you that regularly fly the Airbus H135 helicopter on this stream, you'll be glad to know that I've actually popped that in today for a change. So if anyone is deciding to have a go flying the helicopter, then you should appear as a helicopter and not a flying Cessna, which is what tends to happen on these streams. But hey ho. Let's have a look at where we're going to actually be going. So let me just grab Google Maps. So here we are. We are currently in Washington D.C. We don't do anything by the book on these streams. It's completely just a load of fun exploring the wonderful world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So we're parked over here. We're going to depart. I don't know what the winds are doing. I don't care. We're going to be departing runway 15. We're then going to take off, and we are going to follow the Potomac River. And as we do so, we're going to then follow that down. We'll then pick up the I-495, which is sort of this circular road which encompasses Washington, and then from I-495 we're going to have to do a little bit of map reading, because we then want to take not the first intersection, not the second, not the third. Well, there's also a little one there, so there's a third, there's a fourth. We want to take the huge one. This one there, which intersects with the 395, and then we pick back up the I-95 again. So I'm already looking for some landmarks. Now, these two huge white buildings just here. We've got, what is it, a Springfield Town Centre. Ooh, okay, Simpsons. Yeah, we'll be going down here, and then we'll know we're on the right track. So that's the plan of attack with our departure. But yeah, that's basically how we roll. We literally are following we're literally following Google Maps, and it works really well. So plenty of time for you to grab yourselves a drink of whatever flavour you wish, and come along and enjoy a good, relaxed evening stream with us tonight. Wayne, hello to you. Hope you're well. Mark says, hope you had a great birthday and drunk far more than you should. Now, Mark, regulars of the channel like yourself will know that with the triplet girls and the 6-year-old in tow, waking up with a hangover is never a good idea. I found that out quite early on, so that doesn't usually happen. I would love to drink a lot more than I do, but then I think the next day, oh good lord, no. I did get restocked on one of my favourite drinks this birthday, which was amaretto, and I love that. And I did seriously think about having a good fine drink of it here whilst we were streaming this evening. And every time, and sort of playing a little bit of a word bingo, because every time we see, well, let's call them, we've got McDonald's, we see loads of those. We see Amazon warehouses. Oh look, it's starting to rain as well now. We see Amazon warehouses, not rain houses. What other things do we normally pick out and see? Oh, elementary schools. I'd be drunk by the time we landed if we had a drink every time I saw an elementary school. But yeah, we could have done some building bingo, and every time we'd have spotted one, we could have all grabbed ourselves a drink, which would have been which would have been interesting. I'm sure it would have got worse this stream as we got on. Pedro, you've got red wine in your glass at the moment. cheers to that. Oh, thank you so much everyone for coming along. Well, in that case, let's get going. Now, what's up with this weather? It was not like this when we took off. We are going to be flying very low and very slow. What is... I have no idea if the weather's going to improve. We don't want to get any higher than around about, looking at this weather, around about 1,000 feet. I think 1,000 feet we're going to start to struggle to see things. Let's get the engine started, shall we? And we'll get ready to start heading off. Feel good, happy vibes tonight. That's what we want. Let's get rid of the stream starting soon text. Right, so if anyone wants to be departing, there we go. We're going to make a quick run round, and we'll depart to the right. I think it is. Let's go. Parking brakes released, and a little bit of thrust. Let's set some flaps too, hadn't we? This thing turns on a dime, doesn't it? I love the DV-20. What a great aircraft for VFR flights. One of the things I do love, we all have seen this now in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the weather effects are absolutely fantastic. LA Kids 143, thank you so much for being here. We love the fact that you're here because you give you give me much needed insight into local American information. Obviously, being over here from the UK, something I lack in a heck of a lot. But LA Kid says the weather should clear as we head south, so I'm going to hold you to that. Yeah, what I really like as well is the fact that when the ground is now a little bit wet, as it quite clearly is, we see those beautiful reflections of all the lights. So let's get onto runway 15, depart, and we'll follow the Potomac River. Nigel, would I recommend the Airbus pack for General Microsoft Flight Simulator use? I'm using it right now. I am using the Thrustmaster Airbus pack right now, and it's working fine. I've not done anything special with the key bindings. All flaps are working. Parking brakes. I am, of course, flying this with a side stick, which isn't totally unrealistic because we do fly this with a stick. So yeah, I don't see why not. And if, like me, you're going to be flying perhaps more regularly with the Airbus than the Boeing, then yeah, why not? Right, let's take off and see what we can see, shall we? Oh, the beautiful weather effects of that rain just dissipating up the windshield. Looking at that windsock, we're taking off with a tailwind, so probably not the best choice of runway to depart with, but never mind. Well, let's see if we can ease her up. My word, this weather really has closed in rather quickly, hasn't it? We may end up taking real world weather off, certainly to begin with, because, well, there's the Potomac. I've got no chance of finding I-95 in this weather. This is going to be terrible. So let's just keep quite close to the ground, and as we depart, as I say, we're just following that Potomac. Reach, you're still downloading Microsoft Flight Simulator since yesterday. 79% of the way there. It took me, the first download I did of it, took me 28 hours, I think it was. Yeah, 28 hours. Right, I'm essentially now just following the river, a little bit blind. I'm looking for the bridge, the 495 bridge. That's where we need to make a right turn. I need this weather to do on though, because it's not going to make for a great VFR flight. This. If I can get just a little bit lower, just a little bit. If anyone's in Washington D.C. in real life, let me know, of course, if you are currently experiencing a rainstorm. It's always nice to know when it's quite when the weather is quite realistic. The water looks quite choppy down there as well, so I'm wondering if it's a little bit windy. Look at the so it looks like rolling fog, doesn't it, coming in? So where is this? Where is this this bridge? I think, is it coming up just here? I don't want to cheat and come out of real world weather. There it is. There it is. Okay, so take a right here, and then we've got the first intersection. We've got a nice golf club coming off on the left. Golf course, sorry. I pretty much don't think we're going to see that. This is so illegal, by the way, flying this low over Washington. Right, let's see. Okay, so I think here is the first of the intersections we sort of briefed. We don't want that one. So the start of this stream should really have been renamed The Search for I-95, shouldn't it? So we don't want the first one, we don't want the second one either. We don't want the second one. Well, that seems to be clearing a little bit, actually. Well, that looks phenomenally better, doesn't it? Stay nice and low. Nice and low. Okay, here comes the second intersection. There it is. We don't want this one either. And there's then a kind of like a small one coming up after this. We can discount that. Not using that one. I can hear, I don't know if you guys can hear as well, I can hear in my headphones that there's aircraft all around us, which is just great. Eisenhower Avenue, just over to the right of us. That little stream there, I can't quite see what that's called. The weather does look to be improving. This is good. This is good. We might stand a bit of a chance in a moment of seeing it. LA kids, you were right. This is looking a lot better. Quick look behind us. Oh, look at that. The crew's all here. So now, just keep searching for that massive intersection. It's a huge intersection coming up where we meet I-95 again. I need to get back in the cockpit just to try and trim this aircraft out a little bit, I think. That's not too bad. We're currently cruising at about 400 feet. That's alright. Right, there's the little intersection that I spoke about that we've just gone over, so we can forget that. Next we have got the much bigger one. Well, I say much bigger, it's not huge. I think we can go up a little bit. Now, what do you say? That rainstorm seems to have passed. And of course Microsoft Flight Simulator does look better from a little bit higher up, so there's no danger in going a bit higher. Right, okay, so here is the next intersection. We've got the District Sports Centre over there on the right. And what's the building there in the middle? Is it McDonald's? Oh no, it's the Comfort Inn. Almost seems a little bit windy as well. I'm having to fight a bit of a wind. I don't know if sometimes you can see the tail kicking itself out. The search for I-95. Christian Starmer, good evening to you, sir. Can't fly with us tonight. Oh, that's a shame, mate. But you wish us all the fun. Oh, thank you very much, Christian. Good to have you drop in and see us. Railway line showing down there, so I know we're in the right place. Right, guys, this is it. This is the intersection. The big intersection coming up. And here we meet I-95 again. Let's just trim this aircraft out a little bit because I want to level it out slightly. Not that much. Okay, looks like the rain's coming back. But here's I-95. If you want to start taking, if you are flying with us and you want to start taking that left-hand turn, if you're behind us. Oh, we've had better weather, haven't we, on these streams? I mean, if it looks a pain, then we can obviously clear the weather, but it's quite nice to do them. And oops, he's going the wrong way. It's quite nice to do them with real world weather. Okay, so here's that big business park that we talked about, Springfield Town Centre Shopping Mall. So we know that we're in the right place. You can tell we're in the right place. Look at the amount of cars in the car park. There it is. That's Springfield Centre Shopping Mall. So that's good to see. Then we've got TSA headquarters, whatever that might be. Looking at the weather ahead of us, it's not looking. Well, it's not looking great, is it? We've done a stream like this before, and it was a while ago now. But there was a hurricane, wasn't there? There was a sort of a stormy hurricane that was doing the rounds over America and coming up towards the eastern seaboard of America. So we had to then depart from real world weather, and we had to go with clear skies, or one of the presets. Anyway, Ronald, hello from Chicago. Yeah, Ronald, we know you're in Chicago, mate. We know you're in Chicago. Hope the weather's good for you there. Mark, your weather's shocking. Now, the real question is, have we all got the same? Have we all got that play? Have we all got the same weather if we're on live weather? Because I think that's really rather nice if we're all seeing exactly the same. But I think if we're going to have any sort of viewing pleasure for this stream, we may have to just come off live weather for a little bit, because, well, it's not looking great, is it? And I'm actually struggling to work out where we are. Mark, you're glad you can see the name tags because you're struggling to see anything else. Well, I've got them turned off, otherwise they kind of ruin the immersion for those watching on the stream. But I think, looking at this, yeah, we may just have to come off live weather for a little bit. I've already lost my place because I can't see the landmarks on the ground. Phil, is that the Transportation Security Administration? Thanks, Phil. I was hoping someone was going to come in and tell us what on earth that was. Because, well, I had no clue. Right. So, do you know what? I'm sorry, guys. We are going to have to... I am going to come off that and... Oh! I'm going to go with a few clouds, just add a little bit of sort of realism, if you like. There we go. Okay, I've come off live weather just because it was spoiling the fun a little bit. Let's get up there and let's see if I can work out where the devil are we. That looks like the most uneven car park in the world. Don't forget your handbrake if you park on in that car park. Right, so now we're back to good old sightseeing. We can see where we're going. Tell you what, it's a good job we came off live weather, because with the fog and the hills and the rain rolling in, there's a good chance that we could have smashed into this hillside. Scott, hello, my friend. Hope you're well. Thanks so much for joining us, and hope you've had a good weekend. So I-95 is about to bend round to the right, as we can just see there. There's a little exit as well. That's quite strange, the way that goes off in the centre and then comes out from underneath. That's quite neat. Don't think I've seen a junction in the simulator created quite like that before. Oh, I do like that occasionally when the sun just catches the roof of like a lorry or a car, and you get a shimmer which is really nice. Here's the Occoquan River. I'm most likely not saying that right, but that water sparkle effect is great. This is a shame that this happens though. I like the marinas and the boats on there. It's just a shame that sadly sometimes they look like all of them have sunk. That'll be something else that gets fixed. Speaking of getting fixed, Sim update number 6 I think is out next week. So what's going to happen with that one? Sim update number 6. Let's hope they fix bugs rather than create them. Pedro, where's your sunglasses? Yeah, it is quite nice and bright now, isn't it? G-Star, hello to you. Hope you're well. Right, so the junction coming up here. Is this the big one? There's quite a large junction coming up. Then we've got the Potomac. Is it Potomac Mills shopping centre coming up on the right-hand side as we look. That looks like a major overspill car park down there, doesn't it? Looks like they built a massive car park but forgot to build anything for people to visit, unless it's sort of like a park and ride thing going on. A sweepstake as to how many bugs. Oh, let's not. The first football ground of the streams so far. We see those quite regularly on these streams, which is great because it means I know where we are. Right, this building should surely be blue and yellow. Guess which store this is? Just here. That is a big blue and yellow store. Or should be. Treadwin, I think it is meant to fix the VATSIM lighting bug. I'm almost certain of that, so that will be fine. Hello, is that a bandstand? Great rendering on the houses going up the side of the hill there. That's really neat to see. I like that. Pascal, hello, sir. Hope you're well. Talia, Wally World. No, it should indeed. Dark's got it. It should have been an IKEA. Yeah, it should have been an IKEA. Sadly, it was just the wrong colour. Pedro, you are quite right. Funnily enough, I was just wondering that. I just pulled my thrust back a little bit, or throttle to use the correct term in this aircraft. I thought we're going at a bit of a speed, aren't we? Well, in fact, what are we at? Let's just have a quick look. Oh, actually, we're only about 95 knots. It's probably because we were so low down due to the fact that we obviously had poor weather. So I think that probably had quite a bit to do with it. We're normally, what was our altitude just there? We're normally at about 1,800 feet. We're not even at 1,000 feet. Yeah, so that's probably why. Let's gain some altitude. Nick, hello, sir. How you doing? Good to see you. There's the Potomac Senior High School, just there, second football ground of the, or football field, I should say. Yeah, so that's why we were so appeared to be so high. It was just the altitude we were at. We were basically, literally, we're almost cruising along at ground level at 95 knots. Pilot Richie, hello, you're new here. Oh, thank you so much for joining us, Pilot Richie. Hope you've had a good weekend. Welcome to the fun Sunday night stream, where we don't do any real ops of any kind, and we just enjoy ourselves in the beautiful world that Azobo has given us. Oh, now we're getting a bit more time to enjoy the passing sights. I spy McDonald's, I spy KFC down there. That's the first McDonald's of the stream so far. Pete Mosley, hello sir, hope you're well. Another decent looking quarry, although I have seen some looking better than that. Now this, I always like to try and pick out some great names of businesses and things on these streams. Lord Charlton Kennel and Pet Spa is over here. And then we've got the Quantico Creek River that you can just see, or creek rather, that you can just see reflecting in the sunlight. Pilot Pat, yeah, found the McDonald's. I love a McDonald's. I haven't had McDonald's in so long. And I've been away this weekend. That would have been the prime time to have McDonald's. Prince William Forest Park Visitor Centre is showing off to the right. Well, that must be our Prince William, right? And then just on the left there, not really sure what that was. But anyway. Frontier Sim says you're now hungry. Oh, this stream will do that to you. That is a strange building. That is the National Museum of Marine Corps building. There it is. One of the things, and I've said this several times before, so apologies if I keep repeating myself, but one of the things that really amazes me is that all the buildings, they're not just sort of generic buildings. They have their individual shapes all put into the simulator and all looking really, really great. And that's something that I think Azoba really has done well. They're not just blobs. Trinween, we need a McDonald's fly-through. Yeah. Nightmare 20, you've been there to the museum we've just passed. Nice, nice. Hope it was interesting. The Navy Federal Credit Union building is also coming up on the left. As is Coffee Bar 1010 or 1010 or 1010. I don't know. I've never heard of that before. What's the brand name of that? That's this little building just here. Flight Sim 123. Hello, sir. Hope you are good. Thanks for joining us tonight. So I hope everybody has had a good weekend. Nightmare to Zero, are you stationed at Quantico? Ah, I see. I see. So what have we got coming up next? We've got method and boxing and mixed martial arts coming up. That apparently is this long rectangular building just there. And we're about to pass, Nightmare, we're about to pass your old exit to your old house. Oh, nice. LG Lambs, good evening, good to see you. Hey, Digital, and LG Lambs, you're excited tomorrow, you're flying for the first time since pre-COVID from Geneva to Manchester. Oh, you're coming to my neck of the woods. Well, as close as possible to me for an international airport. Right, so this is Smith Lake and Smith Lake Park, just down beneath us to my right. Digital, that is a great question, one I knew you were going to ask and one I still don't have the answer to. I don't know, if I zoom out on Google Maps, can I see an airport knocking about anywhere? There's got to be some coming up somewhere. Where are we? I actually have no idea where we are. But the large sort of buildings you can see coming up to the right of us are what's the name of this shopping centre just there? I haven't got a name of that, sadly. It's not showing. Don't know where we are, but I can see Pizza Hut, I can see McDonald's, I can see it there. You can, oh, McDonald's always got red buildings, haven't they? Oh, actually, no, that might be the Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut would have the red building, wouldn't it? Oh, Nick's just made a very good point. You can find us on the map, can't you? So that's a really, really good idea. Fleming Therapy. That sounds interesting. Treyman asks, will I be getting the PMDG 737? I honestly don't know. I mean, it's a complicated aircraft, as so it should be, because that's what they design. And it would mean I would have to learn an entire new aircraft to do it properly. We've got the Anthony Burns Elementary School. Oh, in fact, we've just passed that, I think. Is that it? No, that doesn't look like an elementary school. Where's the elementary school gone? Oh, that might have been a while back, actually. I may be slightly behind myself on the map. Courthouse Road, I think, is what passes over just here. Moving away from Washington D.C. then, everything is now starting to look a little less dense, isn't it? So, what's live weather like? Should we attempt to go back to live weather? Nah. Right, we do have an airport coming up though, as we can see, so if anyone wants to join us, what's the name of that little airstrip coming up there? That is Stafford Regional Airport. If anyone can grab the code for Stafford Regional Airport, I can see that just there. Sadly, Google Maps doesn't show me that. So Stafford Regional Airport just there in the background on the North Europe server. If anyone wishes to join us, anyone want to fancy doing a couple of touch and goes there? I shall circle Stafford Regional Airport for a moment. If anyone wants to join us in, we'll do a quick circle while anyone comes in, and then we shall continue down. Like exploring airports. Trade Women, thank you very much. So it's Kilo, Romeo, Mike, November. If anyone wants to spawn in down there. Has this got aircraft? Oh, I think I've got static aircraft turned on. That's why. I'm thinking there's a lot of multiplayer people randomly sat there on the ground. No, but I've got some static aircraft turned on. So that would be why. Not sure who that is. Did you successfully complete a touch and go? Did you actually touch? You look like you just went. So Kilo, Romeo, Mike, November, for if anyone wants to spawn in. Let's not overbank too much, should we? That would be embarrassing to crash on stream, wouldn't it? Yeah, I am kind of glad that we got rid of the live weather. Live weather wasn't looking good. Although, can I just add a few clouds? Because I like to have just a little bit more. There we go. We want a little bit of something looking nice. Right, let's get back on the I-95. Triton Fitness, dead ahead of me. Their tagline: where games happen. So back to banking on the right. I-95 split up a little bit at the moment, banked by a very decent wall of trees. Unlike here in the UK, if a HGV or something goes off the motorway, as they're called over here, chances are, off the wrong side, they can career straight through the crash barrier and end up on the other side of the motorway. That's not going to be happening here, is it? Nothing's getting through that line of trees. Trees usually win against road vehicles. We've got a high school coming up then on the left. I'm sure we can spot that by all the running tracks and sports fields. Yep, there it is. That is the Stafford High School. Now the satellite imagery of this particular area doesn't look as good as it has in some other areas. Everyone's slightly different, isn't it? We've been to cities before on this stream which hasn't been doesn't have photogrammetry, but still looks really detailed and really sharp. This is still clearly an area that they're looking to improve, and I know that in 2022 they are going to be doing more for they are going to be doing more world updates. Nick, did I say HVG? There's a good chance. It's been a long weekend. Right, so that is another massive kind of well, I say it's a massive shopping centre. It looks like more car park area than actual buildings. Anyway, moving on. We should have the Rappahannock River, which I can now just see coming into view. Again, the mesh on this scenery is interesting in places. This is really nice. I like it when you can sort of like see little water crests and it's not just blanket blue. See, that looks really neat, doesn't it? And we must have a high school of some description here on the left, looking at the actually it's not, it's just a ballpark, and it's the Sunshine Ballpark. That looks good. That looks nice. You know you've got good detailed satellite imagery when you can see the chevrons on the road down below. Another massive shopping centre coming up here on the right. The Funland of Fredericksburg? Is that what that is? Is it a shopping centre or an amusement park? No idea. Still, whenever the satellite went over, it was clearly very busy. Lots and lots of cars in there. I'll bet you there's a McDonald's down there somewhere. And just having a look what this is. That's a massive, another massive shopping centre. Oh, we've got a FedEx area, as well as BJ's gas station, if anyone is low on fuel. Actually, that's a good point. I don't think I filled this aircraft up before I took off. And the Redeemer Church is now coming up on our left in a couple of moments. The Hazelwild Farm Educational Foundation is the building that you can see sort of scattered around these fields. Treadmoon, you just went under a bridge. I didn't even know that was possible, apart from the custom handcrafted bridges. I thought they were kind of solid walls, which spoils the fun a little bit, doesn't it? There's the Redeemer Church for you to cast out your sins if you've done anything you shouldn't this weekend. And then we've just got a big industrial park over to the left. So many businesses, auto repair businesses, motorcycle businesses. Yeah, really quite a great place in terms of, I bet this employs thousands of people, this little sector. As we're working our way down. Nice to see that this kind of yellowish looking land here looks exactly the same as that in Google Maps, which again makes it very, very easy to spot, and once again shows how well Microsoft Flight Simulator is adept to VFR flying. There's another McDonald's coming up. How many is that so far? I've lost count. It's a long way down to Miami. I think we should have a poll on how many episodes it's going to take us to get down there. I wonder how many miles we've actually flown since the very first series. About 8, 9, probably about 10 weeks ago. Maybe a little more. So there is the Spotsylvania Regional Medical Centre Health Group. So basically, big hospital. Rico87, good evening, sir. Hope life's treating you good. And I hope you've had a good weekend. Strangely enough, not for a while have I seen the I-95 have an actual name. Now we've seen that in previous episodes the I-95 has always had sort of names named after well, presidents of course. National Coach Trailways down there, as well as a coach centre, and Payne Incorporated Trucking. The Bethlehem Baptist Church. We've just passed that on the left. And now we're coming into an area of intense forestry. Looking at that. Hey Scott, so what area are we in now? A very good question. Well presented and excellently put. No idea. I actually don't know. I'm trying to have a quick look at sort of areas ahead of it. Thornburg Middle School, I think, is coming up on the right at some point in a moment. I can see some like rivers and creeks as well to the left of us. I'm not sure I can actually see those. Now, if I do lose my place, there is the Dominion Raceway and Entertainment Track coming up on the left. That should be very easy to spot. In fact, there it is. Just there. And, oh boy, I'm not sure that's going to end well for him. Oh, rescued it. Yeah, so that's just there. Here's the middle school and the elementary school, as you can see over on the right. Dane, sadly, I would suggest if you're reformatting and you're going to lose everything, I would just download it again. It's not worth the bugs that might come with it. It's a pain, I know, but choose a time when you have the time. Aaron Flood on Facebook, good evening to you. That raceway is done really nicely, isn't it? Look at that. That's really rather cool. That's that might be one of the first times we've seen that, actually. Dairy Queen Grill and Chill. Oh, steakhouse. Nice. Airstream of Virginia Shopping Centre. And the Gander RV of Thornburg is what you can see down there. Oh yeah, look at them all the RVs. Wow. That's what you want to take on Route 66, isn't it? There were quite a few camping sort of retailers just there. The Campers Inn RV of Fredericksburg. Basically, 58 says that groups can sponsor sections of the interstate. Well, actually, that's a great way for an area to raise money, isn't it? Oh, guys, can you imagine if we let that happen over here? We'd have the Paddy Power M1. LSYT says that the live weather's looking really nice now. Ah, well, go on then. We haven't checked it for a while, so hang on. Really? I'm afraid I'm going to respectfully disagree with you and just go back to a preset. Scott, so we're in Virginia. You're halfway between New York and Miami, and we're not even near you yet. Yeah, well, we knew it was going to take a while. but that was the fun of the series when we started it. I have no idea what this building is on the right. It does show on Google Maps. It looks very neat and very close to reality, but I have no idea. We do have piano lessons with ABC Musical Kids though, which must be obviously a home kind of a home business setup over there, which is really nice if anyone's feeling musical. Nick, the McDonald's M25. They'd want one at every exit, right? They've probably got one at every exit. And Aaron asks, where's the best place to... the best place to chat to me is probably on our Discord server. I'm usually knocking around there. Oh, there's another McDonald's coming up. Nigel, have I tried the payware H145 helicopter? No, I haven't. I've got the freeware one. Don't know if anyone's flying that today though. I've not seen one hovering around us. I do wonder if I should do one of the streams one day, one of the Sunday night streams in the helicopter, because I really do like it. Really like it, just for a bit of VFR flying and fun. It's pretty good, isn't it? In fact, it's very good. Thank you to everybody who has liked the stream and shared the stream so far. Thank you so much for that. Particularly if you're on Facebook and Twitch, to which we are still quite new, quite young on there. Right, where's this McDonald's? I can see it's coming up. It's just off to the right at this junction, so it's just there. One day when the simulator is no longer in its infancy, these are going to be full of golden arches. Chris Shaw on Twitch. Hello, sir. Hope you're well. Reno says the M25 would have to be sponsored by NCP car parks. Yes, indeed. Oh, imagine if it was sponsored by Insulate Britain. Chris, oh, you were just over on Twitch, but now you're coming across to YouTube. Oh, that's where it's all happening, my friend. Yeah, but of course we do stream to YouTube. YouTube is obviously the main channel, but we do also stream to Facebook and to Twitch, where we're just a small little baby channel on those two. Boston Elf, we are on the North Europe server. Dane, why this aircraft? I like this aircraft. Not only do I like this aircraft, but have a look at that livery. How nice is that? Thanks again, Dark, for that. It's kind of like our little EasyJet training aircraft. Train those new cadets up. Dane, of all the available aircraft, this is the last thing you think I'd fly. Why would that be? What's wrong with the DV-20? It's beautiful. Right, what's the next major point of interest coming up? There doesn't look to be anything. Apologies to anyone in the chat that may actually live where we're flying over. Funnily enough, the road that you can see down to the right of us is US Highway 1, which sounds like it should be an absolutely killer main major road. But it's not. It looks like a little B road over here in Britain. 3 Black Sat Music, thank you so much for following on Twitch. We need all the followers we can get on Twitch. Christopher, is that me in the leather jacket? I haven't had a leather jacket since I was about 20. Brian, hi mate. Sorry I missed flying with us today, but I hope you've had a great birthday weekend. Brian, I've had a busy birthday. Well, no, I had a busy birthday and then a decent weekend with the family. So yes, thank you very much for that. So what's the little road that we kind of just crossed just there? Very little there, just another kind of rest stop, I imagine. And I know so little about USA. It's got travel routes, things like that, and infrastructure. But I would imagine that this road really is used most by truckers and things, rather than, say, just the general population moving around. So, Dane, when the 737 comes out, do I plan to add it to the streams? To be honest, Dane, I have to say probably not. Just because you know that I fly the Airbus, so to have to learn an entire new aircraft, because if we were going to do it, we'd do it properly. Then again, we have had the DC-6, we've had the occasional comedy moment with the CRJ, so never say never. J-Hog, good evening, sir. Which is the next airport? Me no know. Pedro, you're switching over to Twitch for extra support. Thanks very much, Pedro. We'll see you on the other side. Now, what's this lot coming up here? Harvest Consumer Products. Yeah, well, there does look to be quite a bit of forestry and farmers' fields around here. Oh, look at that! I love that sun glare off the river. Transport Gamer, any thoughts on flying 747 from Sydney to London? Not in one go, no. I'd probably crash somewhere over the Indian Ocean as I ran out of fuel. Christopher, you can't wait for the Captain's Pack to arrive tomorrow. Oh, is it coming tomorrow, Christopher? Oh, that is fantastic. Let me know how you get on with that. LA Kids 143, thank you so much for your support as you upgrade your membership to the captain's level. Be sure to find us on the Discord server as well. LA Kids would really be really great to see you on there as well. But thank you so much for upgrading. Michael Jones, the I-95, I-95 and the 1890 toll are big trucker highways. Yeah, well, I gathered as much. As I say, I'm obviously not from the USA, but I know as well the USA have got massive railway infrastructure, but like most, I guess, trucking is the way to go. That looks like a massive car park. That is a massive car park, and I'm looking at Google Maps. It's a massive car park, and it's half empty. There's a Starbucks somewhere down there. What aircraft is that meant to be? Is someone in a Spitfire or some sort of fighter jet? Nick says the next nearest airport to us is Kilo Oscar Fox Papa. So I'm now... I've kind of lost my place on Google Maps, so I'm just looking to see what's the next thing that I can see ahead of us. Oh yeah, as well, that's the Doswell Energy Centre, apparently, over there. Energy Centre? Is that a posh name for a power station of some description? Energy Centre. 3 Black Hats music, someone is on rocket mode for sure. Yeah, God knows what they were flying. To be fair, it could be something like the Spitfire, which I've not got in my community folder, so they just appear as a generic aircraft. J-Mac, is the I-95 the one from Atlanta, or is that the I-75? Ah, Jay, you're asking the wrong person. All I know is the I-95 goes right up from the Canadian border, and then down to Miami, Florida. Nick, is there an airport code called KFC? KFCI, I like that. GD, over the last 2 days, someone in a light plane has been buzzing planes at Manchester. Really? Why have I not seen that on the news? Ooh, the Vitamin Shop Distribution Centre. So if anyone's feeling a little bit peaky, just land there grab yourself a pick-me-up, and then off you go. You'll be fine. Colesville Nursery as well, down here. Now I'm guessing that's not the kind of nursery where you send your kids, but one where they grow plants. Following that, we've got Fire Solutions. We're coming up to Ashland, I believe this place is called. A little bit of a built-up area coming up. Is that another McDonald's I spy? McDonald's have got a great niche of they just position themselves off every intersection, don't they? They do the same over here. Digital KFCS is Butts Army Airfield. Ellis, is that you in the Eurofighter that's zipping along at Mach 3? Ah, okay. It does look funny on the stream because you're like a Cessna. Just looks like you're in freefall. Boston Elf, I think Kilo Oscar Papa Fox is the nearest code. If you wanted to come in. And 3 Music on Twitch says Kremenchuk Flight College, is that right? Well, KFC, quite right too. And we've got another big RV centre coming up. Lots of RVs, and you can see them all down there. Actually, again, rented rather nicely. Sometimes you get them in 3D, don't you? Sometimes you just get them as like 2D images. And I'm not saying either is poor, because you know, from an altitude down there, they look 3D anyway, so they've done really well. So the airfield you can see there is the Hanover County Municipal Airport. We're going to do a lap of that, just in case anyone wants to join us. I'll do a lap of that, we'll actually just get inside. So there we go. If anyone wants to join us at the Hanover County Municipal Airport, get yourself in. We're on the North Europe server. Here it is. I'm just going to fly over this a couple of times. That looks quite nice actually down there. That is clearly a working airport. Lots of hangars. I bet there's probably a flight school down there as well. That's great to see everyone doing touch and goes. Look at that. That's awesome. Oops, took my eye off the ball there. Let's level that aircraft out. We'll gain some altitude again in a moment. A couple of intentional near misses going on in this flight, says 3 Music on Twitch. Yes, quite right too. So a couple of people asking Alice, what's the Eurofighter like to fly? Is it good fun? And Alice is saying, yeah, it's pretty simple as well. Just a few switches to get off the ground. Okay, so we've done a couple of circles then over the Hanover County Municipal Airport. We shall we'll carry on. Looks like a strange place for an airport. It looks much more of a commercial airport, or rather industrial airport, commercial being the wrong word. Doesn't seem like there's a massive sort of population going on there, so potentially more of the business traveller. HD, good evening, sir. I'm not sure we've seen you before on one of these daft flights. put that ruler well and truly away though, because we're not doing anything by the book on these streams. So to anyone that has just joined us, as has a HD, we're on our Iconic Journeys series, episode, I want to say 7, could be episode 8, and we're basically just following the beautiful scenery. What we got there, that's the Virginia Center Commons. I'm presuming it's just a shopping centre. Actually, that's done really nicely. You look at the shape of that building on Google Maps and the shape of the building there in the simulator. And that's spot on. HD, you've finally got 2 minutes of peace. I'll let you inform the gang why that is. I hope he's sleeping. That must have been a nightmare in your house for the past 48 hours. Digital, they may fly parts in for the factories. It happens a lot in North America. Well, that would make sense. Yes. Oh, now, hang on a minute. Am I following the right road? Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, HD, the amount of golf courses we pass over here in North America is insane. You'd love it. Looks like a nice gold course. Well, if it was a nice gold course, we'd all be over there, wouldn't we? Now look at the quality of everything and the textures down below. This is clearly an area with good satellite imagery. You've got really tight textures, nice, clean, crisp lines. Yeah, this one's done really nice. Yellow Tavern, for anyone who wants to know where we are, that's where we're passing over. A little place called Yellow Tavern. We've got a couple of home improvement centres. There is a nice little pool, although that looks rather cold. Velox, hello. J-Hog, you're now nice and airborne. Excellent. Okay, guys, so what's the city we can see coming up on the horizon for you Americophiles out there? Velox, am I live with some real ops tomorrow? If I get a chance, we'll have some real ops tomorrow, yeah. Ooh, now. Do you reckon it costs a lot of money to live there? Although you are next to a main highway. I mean, to be honest, compared to the UK, it doesn't cost a lot of money to buy a house in America, does it? HD, it's not the pig in Atlantic. Dr. Magic, yeah, I had to get rid of live weather because it wasn't good. HD is at Richmond, Virginia. Fair enough. Right, this looks really nice again, doesn't it? Lots of highly detailed scenery showing up there. Look at that. And look at the architectural type of buildings. You wouldn't get that in... you wouldn't even have got that in FSX with photographic realistic scenery. The problem with the UK is everywhere costs so blooming much for property because there's just not that much land compared to America. LA Kids 143, yep, I believe it is Richmond. And it's when we get to areas of the Azobo world when it looks this good that I kind of take my eyes off Google Maps. I'm following the road still, but I just want to look and marvel at how good it looks beneath us. So I'm guessing Richmond, Virginia, of course, has a decent international airport, and that is where, once we've found it, that is where I'm certain that would be a great place to end our stream this evening for this episode. Now all I've got to do is find the place. Now, there is a heliport for anyone that wanted to fly the helicopter, but I don't think anyone's flown the helicopter tonight. I'm really upset no one flew the helicopter because I specifically put it in the community folder just for that. Right, I'm going to fly around Virginia, at Richmond a little bit because this looks beautiful, and then we'll get over to Richmond International Airport to finish the stream. Ellis, for you, currently live weather only has a few clouds. Is that right? Go on then. We'll switch live weather on for a sec. What? Only has a few clouds? My live weather must be bust. There we go. Right, so I think the airport's over there, isn't it? Well, we'll head over there in a little bit. At the moment, I'm just enjoying these beautiful sights. Look at that! How awesome does that look? This is really nice. I like this. What's the name of this river, anyway? Is it the James River? I believe it is. Particularly like the edge of the is that railway strip just down there. So last week we finished the stream by buzzing Washington D.C. This time we're buzzing Richmond, and lots of details on the roofs. Look at that! Which in fact we got. I was trying to read what was on the side of that roof, but I can't see it. Well, yeah, we've got buildings, we've got logos, we've got all sorts on the side. I'm just not at the right angle to be able to see those. It's just a shame that we still have sort of bridges which have got solid walls on them. And you can see what's happening. Basically the terrain just goes to the side, so you can't go underneath the on and off ramp. Well, that looks great. That looks like a building site. Or a kid's sandpit, I'm not sure which. Presumably a church or an old mill. I'm guessing old mill. Although it's got sort of like one of those round windows at the top which you just associate with the church. No, that's an old mill, isn't it? That's great. And I know when we're flying over an area which is quite impressive because the chat kind of drops off a little bit. And quite right too. Everyone's just enjoying. Look at that building site. You've got the crane there on the side. Oh wow, look at that. I want a better look at that. That is impressive. That is really impressive. Look at the work that's gone into that. I mean, you've even got the red and white road barriers in there. Has anyone seen something like that before in the simulator? Literally, you've got the dugout foundations of a building to be showing there. That is crazily detailed. The fact that you've got a 3D digger as well. Wow. So is Richmond a photogrammic area of the simulator? It's got to be, hasn't it? I don't know if someone can quickly check that for me. But this is really, really great. Mark's just said the bridges are a problem in the photogrammetry area. So presumably that means that this is a photogrammetry area. And I can see why. Absolutely stunning. That is absolutely wonderful. Really impressive. Right, well, we need to go ahead and find the airport, which is over there, I think, behind me. Right, so the I-95 crosses the river there, and if we follow the St. James's River straight on, we'll come to Richmond, Virginia Airport. So Mark, normally when you see logos of the buildings, etc., you think it's photogrammetry. Well, that makes sense. I mean, the 3D crane was just amazing there, wasn't it? Yeah, and look, yeah, you can see so much down there. Incredibly impressive. One day, what do you reckon? Sort of like in the not too distant future, but in the future, do you think you're going to be able to see people, or will that put too much load onto the CPUs? Puts our London photogrammetry to shame. It does. It does. I've seen some very poor images of London. Okay, guys, let's head off to Richmond International Airport. Dane, I've just had to scroll up because I missed that. Dane, your nephew crashed a light aircraft this morning. Engine failure just after takeoff. Thank goodness all three of them survived, but the plane is a wreck. It's a shame, you're really feeling for him. Oh, Dane, that's awful. And I really hope that an experience like that doesn't knock his confidence, because we all know engine failures are incredibly rare. And obviously not to sweat over the fact that the aircraft is obviously a bit of a mess. An aircraft is just machinery and metal, isn't it? It's nowhere near as important as a human life, so really glad to hear that they're okay. But I really hope it doesn't put him off, because having the PPL is a wonderful thing. God bless him. And they were in Victoria Falls, dropped it in a burnt woodland. The main thing is they're all fine, Dane. It really is. And very, very glad to hear it. But yeah, let's hope it doesn't put him off. Back on the horse, and fingers crossed, he'll enjoy himself out and about in the air sometime soon. Right, here it is, Virginia International, sorry, not Virginia, Richmond International Airport. See, an engine failure after takeoff when you've got two engines, you've got your procedures, and you should be okay. Single engine, well, not quite as easy to deal with. So if Richmond is a photogrammetry city, is the airport a handcrafted airport? Looking down there, I'm not sure it is. Although it looks very much like the one I'm seeing on Google Maps. I don't believe it is handcrafted, looking at that. But this is where we'll be ending our stream today, guys, so if you want to get yourself down, and we shall pick up here next time on. Aidan Smith is going to do a formation landing with me. Good luck. I've no idea which runway I'm landing on yet. I'm just kind of losing a bit of altitude and picking my spot. To be fair, an aircraft this small on a runway that long, land anywhere we want, can't we? And one of the things I do like at the end of these streams is basically just enjoying watching all the crew, all the gang coming on in. Jack, which version of Maxwell Flight Simulator do we have? Oh, there's only one version. You're only allowed to play one version because when they update it, it's mandatory update. But currently it's version 1.19.9. HC, yeah, that sounds like good advice. Pick a field in front of you. 500 feet, should be able to turn around. Again, that would probably depend on the terrain you've got around the airport, doesn't it? If it's nice, wide and open, and you've got no trees or anything like that. Not FS95. God, no. All the comparisons. Oh, dark, of course he does. Oh, my apologies. I forget there's 3 different versions of this simulator. There's the basic, there's deluxe, and then is it premium deluxe? I've got the premium deluxe version. Jack, yeah, my apologies, mate. I had no idea what you were asking me. Right, let's bring her around to land. I need to lose a bit of speed as well, to be honest. I don't want to be landing at that speed. Get some flaps out too. But when you're bringing her into land and you've got terrain like this beneath you, I mean, it looks so good. It looks so realistic. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I'm not landing just yet. I've just spotted something. Hang on. Let me just go back up a minute. I want to check this out. Have I just seen a row of houses on the landing lights? They can't be there for real. Surely not. Is there actually a row of houses as the landing lights? In the case of a electrical failure at the airport, can houses 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 please turn on their living room lights? Oh, that's classic. A photogrammetry city, but sadly the landing lights have been replaced by sheds. Oh right, I might actually come back in and land now, but I just saw that as I was coming into land, and I'm like, oh, that can't be right, surely. Jack W, no, I don't have track IR or anything like that. HD 60 degree bank and pull. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that in the real world, do you? But that's the beauty of the simulator. It just looks so good. And I know plenty of you will have done some real life training and flying in sort of like small light aircraft. And I know at our local airfield they have sort of there's a big factory that they use to base off all their procedures for coming in and landing, and it's there in the simulator, so you can sort of practice what you're going to do in the simulator obviously before you get there, which is just so good, so useful. I love that sun shining glare as well on the windshield. Right, let's see how well we do at trying to land this aircraft. I worry about this every time. Let's see if we can put her down. There you go. There's all the lights. They're quite confusing at Christmas. One of the things that I'll not get used to here in the sim, which is obviously realistic, but when you spend your life flying the Airbus in the simulator, you forget how sensitive a small aircraft is to any kind of little bumps in the wind. They're affected a heck of a lot more. Let's try and hold us steady as we touch down. Ooh, almost right on the landing zone. That looked a bit hard to me. Oh! Well, I'm going to flip her over in a second. There we are, and we're down. HD used to wheelie the DA-20s when you used to land them. Right, let me get off this runway. Yeah, this is definitely not one of the photogrammetry airports, is it? Oh, who's in the helicopter? Or is that a static? That could be a static. Or unless someone has switched. That is a lot of aircraft there. Great stuff. Oh, I really should look where I'm going. I'm just careering off the runway. There we go. These ground textures as well, in case anyone's looking at them and noticing they're perhaps looking a little different from yours. This is from Rex. They're the Rex ground textures, which I think look a little bit nicer than the default, just because they're a little bit worn, which you would expect to see, rather than them being absolutely perfect. Is that dark in the helicopter? Ah, nice. Well touched down, Dark. Beautifully landed there in the middle of the airfield in a random spot on the green. There you are. Oh, guys, thank you so much for what has been another pleasurable flight here in Microsoft Flight Simulator on the Iconic Journey stream. Really have enjoyed that, and well, we've had loads of people flying with us tonight in a variety of different aircraft. So glad, Doc, that you went into the helicopter after I specifically went and popped the H135 in there. So thank you, thank you for spawning in on that. So that is another Iconic Journeys episode completed. We stop off then in Richmond, which is where we will pick up next time around. Thank you so much to everyone who's flown alongside us this evening. Hope you've had a great weekend, and I hope this stream has been a nice way to finish that weekend off. I'll be back, of course, this week back in the Airbus doing more real ops flights in the EasyJet A320, and we'll be on VATSIM as per usual as well. Thank you to those of you that have donated and contributed to the stream during the channel show tonight, and of course to our EasyJet SimPilot channel members. Thank you for your very valued and continuous support of the channel. Really do appreciate all of that, and I'm sure I'll chat to many of you in due course on Discord. Right, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much to all of you. Really glad to have a great flight once again, and I look forward to seeing you all again, hopefully next Sunday, where we shall pick up the I-95 again and head down to well, wherever we end up stopping next. Thanks very much, everyone. I shall see you all again very soon. Good night.